As it is a norm for every primary leaving examinations candidate to fill forms indicating their prospective secondary schools, last year's primary 7 candidates made their choices. Following the release of PLE results, secondary school heads have convened at Umasho grounds to help make sense of the choices that over 700,000 learners made in 2024. Before this team gathers for the selection exercise, the Ministry of Education and Sports has a computerized system that automates choices in accordance with the learner's performance, a process that gives birth to 3 lists that in turn school administrators follow to come up with a list of selected learners for admission in their respective schools. The lists are categorized as intake list, the selling list, and the non-selected list. Of these, the intake list spells out the capacity of a given school, which usually comprises of learners that put the school as their first choice and indeed attained the required points. The second list is known as the selling list, which carries all learners that put the given school as their first, second, third, or fourth choice, but unfortunately failed to score the required grades. And the third and last one is what is called the list of the non-selected.
Reason is that maybe in the process of selection, you find in this selection exercise, a school like Namagonga will take a mark similar to Gayaza and Torogas. Now, if the first choice does not take you, that means that even the other second and third will definitely not take you. So some of them are on the list of non-selected students. So we are trying to identify those students and give them opportunity.
To better understand this process, we spoke to some school administrators on their intake capacity and cutoff points. Taking an example of Toro Girls School, whereas her intake capacity stands at 280 learners, a total of 2,309 learners feature on their selling list. UBC has learned that a total of 937 learners overall are the ones that are on the non-selected list.
It's obvious that all of them may not have turned up, the 280. Not all normally turned up.
It's for this reason, therefore, that the manual selection exercise comes in handy.
The schools are under obligation, together with the National Placement Committee, to place those that were not placed by computer manually. So we call that process manual selling and manual buying. So that's now why we have this exercise, so that we take everybody, those who are not admitted by computer.
Weranyangi Girls SS Wushenyi and Nabumali High School are some of the schools that are equally struggling to accommodate the huge number of requests for placements.
I'm receiving phone calls from here. The parents are there. Have you taken on my student? She got 11. We have stopped at 8.
We have parents who have already approached us and we've put them on a waiting list. So when the mandatory 2 weeks for waiting for a child to report elapse, then now we go to the backup list.
Whereas the selection exercise is as vital as passing examinations for one to secure admission, all hope is not lost for learners who could have missed out on their choices.
The parent is encouraged to come to school, and we shall look at very many factors. There is hope if there is still room in the school to accommodate, we shall give the child. And also we may look at another factor if the child is from, say, a rural setting. That child, when given a good environment, the child will perform.
In the just released UNEB PLE results, 722,730 candidates passed, and these are eligible for admission in secondary schools. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.